right, pretty awesome stuff. Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Can people hear me or not? Can you give me a little, I don't know, comment, hands up? Hello there. Just because I'm in my home office today, so it'd be nice to know if it's working. I am audible, awesome, thank you. And yes, some of it is pretty inspiring. It's really good. And it's only students here at CADA who have made that. So yeah, hopefully in some time I will also make something very cool that will be posted like that. Hello guys, nice to see you so many. My name is Oliver, for those of you who don't know me. I am a 4th semester student here at CADA. And yeah, what can I say? I do the streams here every Wednesday. Today is about modeling, week 1 in our little cycle. And then we're gonna texture next week, probably texture some of the stuff we make today. After that will be sculpting, and last will be animating, and then it's gonna go over. So modeling is, I feel like it's the base of a lot of things. Just fix this, because you can't texture something that isn't there. You can't animate something that isn't there. So you need to make it first. Oh my god. Sorry, I forgot about the whole Discord thing. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, because we have a Discord here at CADA, and for some reason I cannot invite people. Let me try and see if it works. Let me just write my boss. All right, I just texted him, so hopefully he'll answer within this bootcamp, and if not, I will definitely get to it. Okay, but I wrote a little, what's it called, a poll, a questionnaire about what you guys wanted to do today. And it was really tight, and I can see after I actually settled on it, it got, what's it called, equal. But I settled on we're gonna make some kind of gamer desktop today. So we're gonna keep it super simple, just gonna go for the general shapes and get as much stuff in as possible so it looks like we have a gamer desk and not just a square. And then maybe next time we'll make the tools, because I thought that could be fun too. So yeah, what is a gamer desktop? Well, mine is not very gamer-ish, but I can show you. Like, what we want is we want a screen, we want a keyboard, we want a mouse, and we want a desk, of course, and maybe we'll also make the computer. Could be, let me see, because we're not gonna make something crazy setup. We don't have time for that today, because I also need to show you guys how to do stuff, you know. So that's the plan. As always, if you are new here, let me know in the chat if it's going too fast, if I skip something, if I miss something, if you need some help, because that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to speedrun some modeling stuff. I want to help you guys get through it. 3D and 3D. Let's see. A 3Dception. Yeah, so without further ado, let's just first get into how to navigate in Blender. After that, we'll start by building simple shapes, and then we will keep working from there, and I'll introduce you to extrusion and to beveling. And we're gonna make a little thing with a curve today as well. It's gonna be super nice, so we can get some wires. So once you have Blender open, you can see my screencast keys down here. That means if whenever I click, you can see it. So middle mouse button to rotate around. I can also left mouse button up here, does the same. I hold shift, you can see I hold shift here, and middle mouse to pan around and drag my view. The hand here does the same. I can also hold control and middle mouse to go in and out. So middle mouse rotate, shift middle mouse to pan, control middle mouse to zoom in and out. You can also use the scroll wheel, of course. All right. So next up, we need to make something. That's the next part. And if you just open Blender, you probably have a cube here. You can just delete it. So, you know, just click delete, or you can also click, I think it's X and delete. So let's click Shift and A. That is a shortcut for add, which you can also find up here. You can see usually when you hover above things, you can see if they have a shortcut. So add has shortcut Shift A, which we're going to be using. You're going to get this little drop down menu, and you can either search, you can just start typing, or you can find it manually. So we want to go under mesh because we want to create some new mesh, and then we want to go to cube. Boom. And we have made a cube. All right. So what do we do with this guy? Well, there's several things we can do. First off, we can move it, and move is called grab in this, or at least it's G, the shortcut is. So I click G to grab it, or move it. If I left click, I accept. If I right click, it snaps back. Okay. If you regret what you did, you can always click Control Z. So same as in every other program, basically. Now, the annoying thing about 3D software is that it's 3D. That means, let's say I want to move this cube over here to this spot. I can't just move it like this because it moves according to my camera. So see, now it's located here. So what do? Well, you can lock it to an axis. So let's say the green one here, that's called the y-axis. And how to know that? That's because it says so up here. So G and Y on the keyboard makes it lock to this. So first G, and then you can just, while it's clicked, you can just click Y. You don't have to hold G, you just click it, click the next one. You can also do it along the x-axis, G and X, or G and Z. Okay, so pretty simple. So let's say I want to move it here. I will click G and Y, G and X, bam. And if I want to change it a bit. Cool. We can also rotate, and that is R to rotate. And see, it does the same thing. It does it according to my view. So if I look at it straight, it'll rotate like this. But I can lock this too. So R and Y locks it this way, X locks it this way, and Z locks it this way. Blender is kind of easy to learn, but kind of confusing if you learn Maya and Max as well. Yes, it's very confusing actually. I can show you guys. I have Maya open here. So if I need to move something here, I have to click W, and I can move it like this. E, then I can rotate, and R, then I can scale. There's no shortcuts like that. So it's pretty different, and I keep mixing it up when I go back and forth. Because here CADA we work in Maya mostly, so we don't learn Blender, but we can apply all the same principles to Blender. You just need to learn the software. Okay, so that's basically almost all we have to know. The last thing is scaling, which is S. Like this. Just cut off the sound. So you can also lock this as S and Z, S and Y, S and X. So pretty simple. S, G, and R are the things we're going to be using. I'm going to say it repeatedly, so you're going to be tired of me saying it, but then you will at least know what to do. So let's start with the simplest thing. The desktop I have is this from IKEA. It's super cheap, and it's very simple. As you can see here, it's just a cube and some cylinders. So we are going to be starting with this. I think I'm gonna just do so you can see it. You can find your own reference if you want to make a different table. That's totally up to you. But I want to make this one because that's the one I have. So what we need to do is we need to take this cube and we need to make it this shape. And it's a pretty simple shape. So what you can do if we want to make it pretty big, we can just click S and Y, scale it out, and S and X, scale it the other way. Now, if we had an exact reference, that means we need to hit some numbers that we've been given. We could check how big is this table. So here it says it's 100 centimeters long and 60 centimeters wide. And where can we see that? Well, 2 places actually. You can either go to this little object button here and you can see what I've scaled it to, or you can go up here under, you click N on your keyboard and you go to item and you can see it here as well. So I think that Blender works in meters, so I think we're gonna work with that. So let's just set this to 1 and this to 0.6. So now it's super small, but that's, let me see how big a cube is. Oh, I guess that's, you know what, let's times it up by 10, just so it's not too small. So yeah, I know, but I don't want to figure out where. I know I can set it centimeters. I'll just times by 10, so that's easier. So we're gonna go 1.6, no, sorry, 6, sorry, my math was off. 6 meters wide, 10 meters long, and then this part here, I don't know how big it is, but let's just do something like 33.33, yeah, maybe 0.25. Okay, so these are my dimensions. X scale to 6, Y scale to 10, Z to 0.25. You can also do it manually, again you can, but if you want to hit them exactly, that's a good way to do it. Next up, this is 74 centimeters tall, this desk, so we can move it up the y-axis, not 7.4 meters. Oh, that's not the, sorry, the z-axis. In Maya it is the y, so that's why I was confused. Okay, scene, units, length, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Thank you though, that's sweet of you. I'll just time it by 10, that's easier, because if I show too much, it's also gonna be a bit of a, a nightmare for people. But thanks. Okay, so again, it says 74 centimeters. I set it to 7.4 meters up, and we have our desk, the top of it at least. The next thing we want to do is we want to make these chair legs, I guess. And these are very simple, so Shift and A, mesh, go to cylinder. And again, super easy. Let me just see if there's measurements on this. There's not. Okay, we'll have to eyeball it. But we know that they are almost 74 centimeters long, so I can set this the set dimension to 7.3. Then to make this match the height of this, we need to set it exactly halfway up on the z-axis, because the center of it is in the middle, so you have to move the middle 50% up. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense to you, just know that that's what you need to do. So half of 7.3 is 6.65. Oh no, 3.65 of course. There we go. And you can see it's actually going into the desk. Next up, we need to make it a lot narrower. So you can actually shift drag like this, and then you can drag to the side, like something like this. Okay, so what do we do now? We can move them manually. That's probably the easiest thing to do and fastest. But we don't want to make this 4 times. That's gonna be a bit of a bitch. So I'm gonna click G to grab, X to move, and get it to approximately the right place. I think here. G and Y, move it here, and let me just zoom in. So I'm gonna put my cylinder right around here, which is where I think it's gonna be. Okay. Next up, instead of manually, copying it and moving it and trying to hit the same place, we can do what is called a mirror function. Okay, so everybody go down to this modifier tab here while you click on a cylinder. You want to add a modifier, and it's the same as the Shift A. You can either search or you can find it manually under Generate and Mirror. And right off the bat, it's not going to do anything. You would think that it's across the x-axis, so it should pop over here. But the reason it's not working is because we have a lot of translations going on. So either we can apply our translations and reset it to 0. That means that its pivot point will be at the center of the world. I'm going to show what that's going to look like. Like this. You can now see that this little orange dot here, which is the pivot center, you can see that's where it rotates around. That's going to snap down to here, and it spawns the other side. If you want to keep your transformations for any reason, it could be that, we change the height of this. Then it can be nice to keep them. So what you would do in this case is you would select an object you want to mirror across. So you have this little picker option here, which you can click, and you can select a cube. Oh, if it wants to, it does that. That's interesting. Okay, now it worked. I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, I also had a mirror modifier on my cube. Okay, so don't have a mirror modifier on the cube as well. There we go. Okay, now it works. And we also want to cross the other side, so I can also click on the y-axis. And bam, we have 4 legs. Super fast. I'm gonna give you guys a second to get this far. Make 4 legs with the mirror modifier and make this nice, beautiful looking table. Some hardcore modeling we're doing. But I want to start you guys off very nice and easy, and then we're gonna move into some more interesting stuff. The mirror modifier is already something that's, you can use so much. It's a bit technical, but when you get it to work, it's very, very nice. And the good thing is that we can still move. If we don't like our position, we can still move it like this. And I just move my one leg, and it's gonna move all of them like this. Super nifty. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys how to do a bevel. And what is a bevel? Well, you can see here on my my table that it is perfectly sharp. It's like a 90-degree angle, and nothing in this world has like a 90-degree angle. I don't know if you guys can see this thing here. Even though it's very, very pointy on the sides, it has a tiny little bevel. Well, some things have a 90-degree angle, but most things don't. And what that does when you have a 90-degree angle is that it makes the shadows appear very, very sharp, and it gives this weird, unreal look. So we need to make this ever so slightly rounded. Let me just show how it's gonna look. So something just like this is fine. Already looks more natural. You could also go crazy with it. Like something like this. I'm gonna show how to do it, but you know, we want it to look smooth. So what we're gonna be doing now is we're gonna go into what's called the edit mode. So you want to click on your cube. We can already name it up here in the outliner. Let's call this tabletop, and let's call the cylinder table legs, just to make sure we have everything named nice. After you named it, click on your tabletop, and you can either go up here and click edit mode, or you can click tab on your keyboard to go in here. So what you want to do, first of all, you need to know that you can select 3 different types of points, or I don't know. You can select with 3 different modes. So there is the vertex mode. If you click one on your keyboard, you can see that this turns blue, and you can select the corners of edges, or the gathering of edges. If you click 2, this turns blue, and you can select the actual edges. And edges are made between 2 vertices. If you click 3, you can select faces, which is combination of 3 or more edges. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Pretty easy to remember. So what we want to do is we want to select all of the edges, because we don't want anything sharp. We don't want this to be sharp. To select everything, you can actually just click A for all. And to bevel, you can either go up to Edge and Bevel, or you can see there's a nice little shortcut, which we're going to be using, which is Control B. Once you click that, when you drag your mouse, you should see something like this. Again, if you want to regret something, you can right click, Control B. Wait. If you think this is not enough topology, that means there's not enough extra geometry adding, you can scroll wheel. Let me do like this so you can see. I scroll wheel up to increase the intensity. So I think just for this case, I want to scroll wheel 3 times. I want to make it pretty small, like this. And already this looks a lot nicer, because it's not super smooth, but it has this nice little edge here. Okay, so that is a bevel. And we have now made a tabletop. Good job, guys. Not too bad. I'll just text my boss about the link. Cool. So that's the table. Let's call that a day. Next up, I want to make a screen, because that's very, very important for doing anything. It's more important than the computer almost, because you can't see anything without the computer. So let's just analyze this. We have a little round thing here. That is the base. Then we have a cylinder. We already know how to make that. Easy peasy. And then we have a screen. And the screen is pretty simple. I don't know how the screen looks from behind. I can check. Okay, that should be easy enough. Because you can Google computer screen backside, and you can see multiple ways of making it. You know, but let's start pretty simple, and let's make the base first. So Shift A, let us make another cylinder. G to grab, Z to lock it, and move it up here. And I want to place it so it's just above the ground, like this. And let me get another shape, because I want it to be oval and not round, and it's perfectly round right now. So here we can use the scale and X function to give it a nice oval shape. Something like this, and I want it to be a lot thinner actually. Something like this, and then I'm gonna move it right there. So I can see, it's hard to see here, but it looks like the base goes up a tiny bit and then out, and then it comes in. So what we need to do here is what's called an extrusion. So I want to click tab again on my, while I click on my screen base, I call it, tab to edit mode. Then I want to select the face here, that's the round thing. So I want to click free up here, select it, and to extrude, you just click E to extrude. And you can do it however much you want. I'm just going to do it ever so slightly. You can also go up here to face and extrude. Again, it's just the hotkey, so it's super nice. Next up, I want to click scale. So it's a tiny bit bigger. Maybe move it down again. And then I want to click E to extrude again. So I get this little thing. And if I don't think I did it enough, I can always scale a bit more. Extrude it a bit more. Something like this. Cool. So what you could do is you could extrude inwards, and you can make the whole screen like this. But I generally feel like it's easier to make things with a lot of different meshes, because if you want to change something, it's not locked. It's a lot harder to do something when you make it in one mesh than in several. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Shift A, mesh, and we're going to make something else. And we can use a cylinder if you want to make a round, what's it called, neck for your computer screen. But I think I'm going to use a cube actually this time. So cube, G and Z, scale it down so I feel like it matches. G and X to move it back, S and X to scale a bit, scale a bit more. So now I put it just so it's below the surface, so you can see if this is too on a bit when you get further. Is there a buzzing sound? There should be some music, but I don't know if that's what it is, Elena. I'm also using a inferior setup today because I'm at home. Did it fix it? Is it worse now, or is it better, or is it same? Better now. Okay, so when I speak, I also talk too much. Sorry. I guess it's the microphone that's bad. I'm sorry. Is it bad, or is it just slightly annoying? Better. Okay, thank you. I'll just crank up the music so loud that you can't hear me. Okay, where was I? Yes, so this base here is now a different mesh. Perfect upgrade. It's probably just because of the music then. So, first off, what we want to do is we want to make this a lot more rounded, because I didn't want a cylinder, but I still don't want a square. I want it to look nice and soft. So the first thing we can do is we can bevel it again. So I click tab to go into edit mode, click 2 for edges, but this time I only want to select the sides here. I think, let me just check, yes. So select all the sides, Control B, and bevel it quite a lot, something like this. This is looking nice. Don't worry that it's segmented, that's always, you know, make it appear smoother. Then I want to move it up, so I go into edit mode, click 3 for face, and I just click grab and set to move this up. So here I have my neck going, and I can select both and click G and Z to move them to back, so it's a bit nicer. Maybe also move it down a bit. Okay, next up we want a screen. That's gonna be a bit more fun. So Shift A, Mesh, Cube, because it's squared. Makes sense, right? So if we want to make an old school, this is basically it, right? Old screens were huge. They sucked. But our screens are much more like this. And this should be in front. And you can decide if you can afford like a big HD screen that 48 squares or inches or whatever it is. I think my budget is for this guy. This is what I can afford. I'll just move this up a bit. And a bit thinner. Okay, so how do we make this frame? That's the next part. So first off, go to edit mode, click 3, and instead of extruding here, we want to extrude inwards. Okay, and that's what you could do is you can click E to extrude and right click, and then you can scale it. That's one way. The noob way. There is a function called inset, which is I, and you can do it like this. And if you open up this little I don't know, menu down here, there's a lot of options, and you can decide, you know, if you wanted to have depth or not, if you wanted to be bigger, if you wanted to do other things. That's a lot, I don't know all of it. But let's just do something like this. And I want it to be even, so I'm also going to scale it a tiny bit along the y-axis, like this. And now I want to extrude by clicking E and moving my screen inwards. And now I basically have a screen. Pretty easy. Let's see here. And we can give it a little, so no, it's, wait. Just messing around now. Now I can see it's a screen. Don't worry about this, that's just for my little fun. Okay, so what else do we need? Well, the screen is again way too squared. It's, you know, it's perfectly 9 degrees everywhere. And we didn't want that, remember? So I'm gonna go to edge select and go A for everything, but we don't want to bevel these guys here. This is not a good idea. So I'm gonna hold Control and I'm gonna deselect the corners. You can drag over them. I'm gonna deselect these and keep the rest. And then I'm gonna bevel, Control B. And not too much, just 2 or 3 times to get my screen to look nice. Oh, 1 second. Let me just check if that's what I want to do. Guess you could do it. Just don't feel like wanting to. Do you want to do that? Okay, I guess you could also leave these. It creates a lot of geometry, which is not ideal. But if you want to be looking good fast, you can do it. But just be careful with it. Oh. Yeah, sure. In an ideal world, you would do something different. But just for this case, we want it to look nice really fast. So let's keep it like this, where I beveled all the edges. Okay, lastly, we want to fix the backside here. So there's a lot of ways we can do this. Depends on your monitor. You can't extrude the screen. So make sure you're in edit mode. Make sure you're in face select. And just see if you can click it. G to grab. If you can, then you click E, and it should easily be extruded. If you already extruded it by accident, let me show like this. Oh, let me see here. Then you can't see it necessarily, because there'll be multiple on top of each other. I don't know if you fixed it. Again, click it, edit mode, free for face select, click the middle, and E to extrude. If that doesn't work, you can also go to face, extrude faces here. And it should work, hopefully. Let me know if it still doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna make this super simple. I just want this to go into this. So I'm gonna click E to extrude. I will R to rotate and lock it to the y-axis. I'll scale along the x-axis a bit. I'll click E to extrude along the e-axis. R to rotate along the y. And you can see it looks something like this. Can I extrude backwards? Well, you can extrude backwards. The problem is that you just can't see that you're extruding it properly. So if you have multiple on top of each other, let me see. I don't know if I can see it here. So you should be able to do that. Like if it's really buggy, I would just make a new cube. This takes 2 minutes to make, luckily, so you could do that if that is a better option maybe. Could be actually, that was smart. But usually it works both ways. If you E to extrude, and you can lock it to the x-axis like this. Try and make it again and let me know if it still doesn't work. Okay, I'll just scale this along the set and bevel this. And now I have something like this. That's something. That's a way to do it. So just extruded it and rotated and extruded and rotated this to get this this thing going. One more thing we need to do with the screen is, right now it's super flat, and that's not gonna work because you know, a screen usually has some depth to it. So first I'll move it a bit forward. So we want this to go back here, and the easiest thing to do is to subdivide it. So let me see if it's up here. If we need to. Unsubdivide that. Okay, so select your screen. Oh, you got it. Great. Good to hear. Sometimes you just need the mesh is just, you know, fucked, and you need to start over. Luckily, this is a simple shape, so it's pretty easy. I'm just gonna rename this really fast to screen. So I'm gonna select my screen. I'm gonna go into edit mode, click face select, click A for all, right click and subdivide. And let me see if I can just subdivide these. Yes, I could. Okay. And I think I'm gonna do this one more time. So right click and subdivide. This is not the ideal way to do it, but this is how we're gonna do it today. It's a bit faster. So I'm gonna select these 4 faces that are made after subdividing it, G and X, and move them backwards. But like this. And now if I click A and I subdivide again, oh, sorry, not the, if I go to my modifier stack, that's how it's gonna work. I go to modifier, generate, and subdivision surface. You can also click Control 1, or 2, or 3. And now we have a screen that's a lot more smooth. Might be a bit much, but it's there. What you could also do if you don't want this, but you want this squared look, you can just keep subdividing. And shade smooth. Now I have this look. So there's a lot of different options here. You could also select these edges here. So I hold Alt and Shift to select the entire edge, and you could bevel them. Don't know if it's gonna work very well, but that's not a good. Well, you could. There's a lot of ways to go about it, but all this creates a ton of geometry. So the ideal way to do it is manually creating loop cuts. I will not do that today. I'm just gonna show you how to do it fast. But if you want to keep it low poly, that means with a few polygons, you can just keep it like this. You can also unsubdivide it. Let me just go back. And I'll show you guys how you can make it yourself. So if you want to make more loop cuts, you can click over here on the loop cut tool, or you can click Control and R, and you can see this pops up. Left click and right click to accept it in the middle, like this. So now we're only creating extra loop cuts where I want them, and it's not going to create extra here, because here we actually don't need these at all. Same here, we don't need these in the middle here. These are redundant for us. So you can actually delete these if you want to, but you don't have to. But now I have more loop cuts, Mine has a beef with sculpting. Yeah, this computer does not do well with sculpting either. It's a nightmare, so to speak. It's so luckily this is decent to work with. It's not too bad. Okay, now we have a low poly screen. Good job, guys. You can also make this with a cube or a cylinder, whatever you want. Now let's get to something more fun. So let's make a cube. Put it up. Scale it along the Z. And scale it along the X. Scale a bit more. Move it down. G and X. So this is gonna be our keyboard. So you decide the dimensions. I want mine to be like fairly flat. And a bit thinner. So again, S to scale and then just lock it to the different axes until you're satisfied. So the first thing about a keyboard, well, if you have to make it like realistic, it's gonna be a lot harder because there's a lot of buttons here. But we can go about it in a way that's gonna be okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make the frame. So let's go to our edit mode, click free, and click on this face. I to insert. I want to scale a bit along the X, and I want to extrude a bit down. Pretty much actually, because the keys are gonna be here all over. Okay. Next up, I think what I want to do is that I want the keys to be separate from the rest of the mesh, because I want a lot of loop cuts, but I don't want the whole mesh to have them here. So I'm gonna click on this face that I made that pushed down. I'm gonna go right click and go to separate and go by selection. If I go out of edit mode, I now have two different objects. So I have my keyboard, let me say frame, and keyboard keys. So if I remove this, this should be kind of empty down here. We'll fix this later, but just to make sure you have two different objects. Again, you want to go to face select, you want to go right click or P and go separate by selection. When you click this, you go out of edit mode and you now have two different objects. You can name them so you know which one is which. Okay. So with this actually just a plane now, you can see it's super thin and this is gonna work super good for us. So the first thing we want to do is want to go into edit mode and want to subdivide it a bunch of times. I think something like this. And then I want to add loop cuts in the middle, so we have roughly key sizes for the most part. Okay. So we can start with the numpad over here. We can do this. So if we have these plus and minus here, yeah, I think we do this. So I'm gonna select these two. I'm gonna go I for insert. Gonna select these two, and I'm gonna do the same. If you want it to be exact, you can open up this and you can type whatever number you want. So this could be 0.8 or something. Then we would know that it would be the same. So I'm gonna do that actually. So 0.008. I for insert, 0.008. And this one is going to be 1, 2, so I for insert, 0.008. Next up, we have all the keys here, so I'm going to select all these, or something like this, I for insert. And what you need to select here is you need to click on this individual, so they all do it individually, and then you need to 0.008. Okay, so now we have a lot of different things that has been moved out a bit, and if I click E to extrude, I'll just see how high this is. I'm gonna move them just to the border here, maybe a bit above. And I'm pretty sure that we can scale individually. Maybe. Let me see here. Let me just check something. Yeah. Okay. So up here, it's this is the pivot point. So right now it's set to median point, which is the middle of where we are. So it's gonna try to make everyone scale to this. So if I go up here and select individual origin and I scale, you can see they scale inwards toward themselves. So we're not going to do that right now, but just know that that's what we will be doing. Yeah, these are the numpads. So next up, you just want to actually move on. I want to select all these and these guys. And this one is going to be my F keys. And it's not going to be exactly perfect, but we'll just pretend. So it's going to be a small keyboard. But at least you will get the point. So what you would have to do is you probably make the right amount of squares that match how big your keyboard is going to be. All right. So you probably want to go something like this. Wait. And again, I want to extrude. Yes, I want to extrude. That's what I want to do. So I want to just E, get them to the same height. The best thing is to do them all at the same time, but this is fine. You can always grab and move them down a bit. So if you want to make it look very keyboard-ish, you need to have a bit of asymmetry in this. So you would need to select, let's say this row, G and Y a bit. Or maybe it's better to first extrude them up. Yeah, I think that's better. G and Y. Oh, sorry, I need to insert them first, of course. Sorry, I had to insert. Again, 0.008. Then we take all these, G and Y, G and Z, move them up, like this. Then we take the next row. Again, that's probably a smarter way to do this. If we kept them all separate, it'd be even easier actually. 0.08, oh, 0.08, sorry, 0.008, E to extrude, G and Y, But we could also make just, you know, a symmetrical if we want to. Maybe that's nicer. Yes, I think I'm going to do that. Turn off individual for the spacebar. E to extrude. And then I'm just gonna actually just make the rest of the keys in one big go. Oh, except for this one. And we also need the enter and the backspace. I individual set the thickness to 0.008. E to extrude. Around the same height. Now I want to make this guy. E to extrude. Oh, not E, sorry. I to insert. Turn off individual, 0.008. And then you can help it a bit here if it looks weird. See, there's something funky going on here. Something like this. Now this one, I for insert, 0.008, extrude it, and lastly the shift. I to insert, 0.008, E to extrude. Okay, and now they're not necessarily all the same. So what you can do is you can go to X-ray mode up here, all set. You can go to vertex select up here and select all the top vertices like this. And if you scale them along the Z axis, they will all be the same height, hopefully. They're not, okay. Oh, I just need to reset my median point. Was that it? Yes, so we need to set this one back to median point. All right. Oh, I fucked up with these. I forgot to insert them. Well, never mind. It doesn't matter. So, first off, we want to move all of these a bit inwards. Everything that we've made, select it. Just select all of these. I think you could make what's called a selection set, which is a lot smarter, that you can save your sets. So you don't have to manually click like this, but in our case, set it to individual origins, scale, hold shift and set, and scale them inwards just a bit. And we will make a keyboard. So a few things you can do is you can select, again with the X-ray, select all of these vertices, G and Z, G and X, move them down a bit. And the same with the top vertices here, select all of these, G and X, move them down like this. And now select this guy and make it match. And turn off X-ray up here. Okay, so now it looks more like a keyboard. More, not exactly. Set this back to median point. So again, I fucked up on these. I forgot to insert first. But overall, I feel like it looks a bit like a keyboard. So also fucked up here, I can see. What you would do if you wanted to make this so it's actually asymmetrical, you'd probably make one strip at a time. So you would take off this, for example. You would go to separate and separate selection. So now you could move this independently, like this. And then you would make the keys one row at a time. It's a lot less destructive, at least. Okay. Okay, lastly, before we finish off, I will show you how to create a little wire, because it needs to be plugged in, of course. So you want to go to shift click and then right click right at the corner here, because that's why we want to spawn our thing. Shift A and go to curve and bezier. You're gonna get this weird snaky thing. And if you go to edit mode, you can see you can select these points here, same as everything else, and you can move them. So first I want to scale it so it's not so long. G and X and move it to where I want my entry point to be. And I want it to be inside of the keyboard. And then you can basically select this. You can make sure you grab it along the axis when you move it. And if you want it to be super curvy, you want to scale these big, these tangents. You can also move them manually like this. And when you want to create more, wire, you click E to extrude, lock it to the X and Y axis as always. E to extrude, and you can also rotate along the Z axis, or you can manipulate these what are they called, the tangents, like this manually. E to extrude, Z, G and Y. And now when I get to the edge here, I want to extrude, of course, get it over the edge here, and then I want to rotate a bit like this. And maybe move it a bit closer. And now I want to extrude downwards. So we actually get, you know, get it over the edge, and then you can decide how many you want to do downwards, of course. You can go crazy if you want. Okay, so when you've made your wire, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to show you what to do with it from here. So people who want to move on can move on. But yeah, you can of course also, if you don't want it to be perfectly flat, you can move it up a bit. Like this, if you think that makes sense. But you want to select your curve, and you want to go down here on the little data tab thingy. Okay, and down here we have something called bevel, and under bevel there is depth. So again, scroll down, open the geometry, right between texture space and path animation, go down to bevel, and set the depth to your desired thickness. And this is not super thick. I think actually 0.001 is perfect. And we want to fill the caps. And what you want to do from here is if you like your curves, you want to go to object mode, right click, convert to mesh. Once you do this, I'm pretty sure the curve disappears, so make sure you've made your curve as you want to, or at least duplicate it. You can make a shift D, and you can have a little curve backup. Wait. and hide it. And then this one, right click, convert to mesh. And we can call this keyboard wire. And now we also have wire. Alrighty. Not too bad. Alright guys, I think we have time for a short mouse. It's gonna be a simple one. Mouse. It's gonna be something like this guy. So super fast. We'll go Shift A and cube, and you can follow along if you can, but you don't have to, of course. Now I just really need to make a mouse really fast. So I'm gonna make it the size of a mouse, something like this. Mouse is around the same size as a keyboard in length, I can see. Pretty thin. So first thing I want to do, I want to go into edit mode. I want to select the edges here, and I want to bevel it like this. Next up, I want to extrude the top a bit. Then I want to click on my knife tool. This is this one. It's also K. And I want to connect these guys here. I just click enter to accept. Okay, here and here. Here and here. Now I want to click these two edges and I want to move them up. Oh, actually I want to select all these. Move them up. And I need to scale this guy down a lot. And now I want to select these two. Move these down. Something like this. This is not the perfect mouse. Now I want to select all the top edges here. I want to scale them inwards a bit. Move out a bit. Control R to make a loop cut in the middle. Control B to bevel that. And then I can select these two faces. E to extrude downwards. And then I can control shift A, mesh, do a little torus. Scale it out. Mesh. So when you spawn something, right, you can right off the bat change the settings on it over here. If you don't do it right away, it's not really possible to do it later. So you want to do it pretty early in your process. 90, scale it. You can change the width of a torus later. How can you do that? I would like to know. If you know. There's like a shortcut for it, maybe? F9, F12, no? I've heard about it as well, but I never know where it is, so I've just given up on it, actually. E to extrude. And now we have a little mouse here, something like this. Edit mode, press A. Doesn't make sense. Edit mode, A, select all this. But that just it's not really doing what I want though. I want it to be figure in the middle here. I like the idea though, but it didn't really do what I needed, sadly. Cheat this last sphere. At this point I'm just speed running this last part. Yeah, it might be because I saved individual points. Let me try again. No, still the same. Ah, it's okay. There's ways to do it. I know there's. Ah, there we go. Now we have a mouse. And then I can just Shift D. Move this guy over here. And I now have a mouse too. And I think I can scale X 90, scale Z, scale Y -1. There you go. So, okay guys, this is it. We now made stuff. Which is all very nice. So I hope you made something. you know, you have a screen, you have a desktop, maybe you made it with a wire hopefully, and you know, an ugly keyboard. The mouse I don't expect you guys to have. But I got a link, so if you can go in on this, please let me know. Because it doesn't work for me. But try to go into Discord. And under our Discord channel we have something called the 3D Bootcamp, where we usually post stuff we've made. So take a little screenshot. You can add some light if you want, but you don't really have to. You know, just I'm just gonna go print screen. Yeah, I heard there were some issues with my voice, with the cracking sounds. I think it's the headset. I'm sorry about that. I will be back on the school next week, so it's not gonna be that bad, the quality. But there's nothing more to show, guys. Go in and show your little setup if you want to. If you want to keep working on it, it's fine. If you don't want to show it, that's fine too. I would recommend saving, just to be sure. Control S and save it as something. Let me just go to, say, gaming or just desktop 01. Save. Yeah, because that's actually all for today. So Dingus, okay, wow, Dingus, that's really good. Okay, I really like the keyboard. You made it a lot better than me. How did you make them be offset so nicely? Did you make them individually or make extra loop cuts, or what did you do to? Did you do the thing with the individual, what's it called, planes, or did you do within one plane, or, because this looks really good. Like this is actually a keyboard, and it made a little button as well on the screen. Damn, like the mouse too, simple, but wow, this is really good. Let's go. Making mine look like it's a toddler who made it. Keyboard is hiding in shame. Just focus on the header chip button. Oh yeah, but hey, it looks exactly like mine. I love the old school screen though. It looks really good. And you got this nice bulging look on the screen, which screens used to have back in the day. So that's really, really nice. And I love the wires, that they're so chaotic. That's exactly how my table looks like. And nice detail on the desk. You can see here it's a bit off on the edge, but otherwise it looks super good. Hey, I think you did great, Senna. That's amazing. Guys, some really cool desks for sure. Like I did not expect anyone to even make it that much. But Dingus, if you can share how you made your keyboard, it would be really nice, because actually I don't know how to do it in a smart way, like a fast way, if that's what you did, or you just powered through it. That'd be nice to know. And can anyone check the link that I sent, if it's actually working? And you can join Discord if you haven't joined before, or if it's broken, because that would be nice to know. Elena, didn't have time to finish keyboard. No, but you made a keyboard and you made a little mouse. I like your screen's neck is very futuristic. It's holding it on one side. I love the legs on the table. There's like a raise and lower desktop. and nice wire you got going here, little plant. But I'm very amazed that this thing can hold it. Feels cable is good. Great. Awesome. Okay, now I have a link then. Awesome. Anyone else? I made paste on myself tools. Seriously, do you have a holder like that? That's kind of cool. What's your screen called? Now I want to Google it. You can also send a picture of it in Discord. I really want to, because I've never seen something like that. Only on I don't know, a TV screen that needs to flip or something. It's very futuristic. Oh, they made it, so it's no worries, no worries. It's a separate arm thingy. Okay, so you plug that to your screen or something to hold it, or... It's only a historical Chinese drama now. Okay, sure. Chinese inspired desk. Hey, that's fine. Like, you can actually make whatever you want in these bootcamps. It's really just to get you guys inspired and to showcase something. But everything we're doing can be, you know, used on everything else, right? You can extrude everything, you can bevel everything, you can use curves for everything. If you want to make a necklace, if you want to make, I don't know, whatever you want. Yeah, so you can send pics when you're done. I'll check it later when I go to bed, or before I go to bed, or Sims for CC. And Kita, yeah, you can send it on Discord if you want to. I might not see it right away. I don't use Discord that much, but you can send it if you want some feedback or just want to share it. That would be fine. Okay, Renan, damn, you went also. What's with you guys? You are so futuristic. Okay, I like the keyboard. You also made it offset, which is really cool. Didn't you? Oh, you did not. It's hard to see for the angle actually. One thing with the screen though, I would make the edge in here sharper, so there's a clear definition between the screen and the border. Because I like the smooth look, but I would definitely not bevel the inside here. Or if you bevel it, like make it a very, very, very shallow bevel. Because otherwise it looks more like a wallpaper. But I like the legs though, looks pretty cool. And this is a nice bevel on the desk as well, very soft. Awesome. Cool, anyone else? Let me know. Send it or write me, or I don't know, if you just want to chat, we can do it. Actually, I'm home, so I don't have to rush to make the to make the train or something. So if you guys have anything you're curious about or want to see what I'm working on, or you can see if you want to, like I'm working on this rig, this girly. Let me see, she looks weird without her hair. So I made this today. So it's wait. There's the little smart way to make her smile or look mad. So I just use these, and if I want extra control, I also have extra controllers here. And she also has a tongue and teeth. Don't worry, she's not so weird. very, and then she's gonna, aha, fun stuff. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on, but that's in Maya, so it's cheating. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a very comprehensive rig that I'm working on. Yeah, and it's very futuristic subdivided, but I guess screens might be like that in the future, I guess. How much time did it take to make? Well, this is week. I bought a course, bought this rigging in Maya course, so this is part 2. So I made part 1 first, that was 4 weeks of this, and now I'm on week 6 out of 10. Like time-wise, it probably took like 2 weeks or something, but there's also a lot of lectures I need to watch and a lot of stuff. So you know, it's pretty comprehensive. And next week I'm gonna learn how to, you know, make curves on hair so they can move more naturally and stuff. So I'm pretty excited for that. And of course a full wait, you know, there's both FKs. Wait, what's going on? Oh, what the there you go, okay. So there's FK, and there's also IK, of course. That's not working. Oh, there we go. There's IK, there's extra controllers. They can squash and stretch. I don't know what's going on over here though. Why is my IK not working? Oh no. Damn, my rig is broken. Need to figure out what's wrong here when I get that far. Might need to make a new IK handle. No. Sucks. Okay. Shadow the creative show off, let's see. Let's see. Well, now I put it up so everybody can see, so might as well open it. Yeah, this is thank you, but this is actually the easier part of it. It's getting really ridiculous here at the end. So I really look forward to the last couple weeks. Oh yeah, this looks kind of cool. All this Ankita. Oh, it doesn't really work. I can't go in on it. Looks like you make some cool stuff. I like the lighting in general. It looks like you really make it look nice when you make something. Really good job. If there's something specific, you can of course send it, or we can talk about it, but you know, just looking at all your stuff might be a bit much. But I really like the lighting in general. I think that looks very cool. Cool. Ankit, Oliver, Ankit, okay. Man, it's hard to see these names on the YouTube, what they mean. Cool. Anything else, guys? Otherwise, I will leave you. I will go watch some Netflix or something and go to bed. call this a day. Next week we are gonna be texturing. Probably gonna be texturing the screens we made. Let me see. Yes, a lot better. Very nice. Much better. Probably it still has like a bevel inwards, but I still think this is a lot better. Now you can clearly see the definition. Cool. So I guess this will be it for today. Come back next week. Next Wednesday we're gonna be texturing. Gonna be looking at adding images to texture, so you can like put a wallpaper or a desktop on your screen. Maybe add a sticker to your mouse. If we get that far, we'll see. Cool. And kids. Alright, well, if there's anything specific, you can always write me. But I don't have time to do so much. Do you want to have any calls? Well, depends what you want to do, of course. I just I want to do rig in Maya. So this was like a pretty, I don't know, it looked like a good rigging in Maya course and was not that expensive. I think it was 300 euros, something like that, or dollars. Yeah, I don't know for Blender. I don't know actually. Because I I go to school to get most of the stuff told to me. But if you want to learn rigging in Maya, I would. But yeah, that's on top of what I pay for the school, which is $1,200 a month. On top of that, so yeah, I just really want to do it, I guess. My username is down here, Oliver T at lead1337. Yeah, I know that you can. There's something called Gnomon Workshop, and there's other stuff online, but it's all paid stuff if you want. I also I was thinking about buying this. That's the guy who was part of Moana and Spider-Verse, who has a rigging workshop that I thought about doing. But that costs 1,200 as well. So, but I don't know that many actually. I'm just go to school. That's plenty for now. Cool guys, I'll cut it here. See you next week. Texturing, same time. I'll be at school instead. Bye bye.